Most movies about the afterlife focus on heaven, hell, or judgment. Eternity does something very different. It forces us to question who we choose to spend forever with and why. The film is not about death itself, but about love, memory, and the weight of the lives we live together. Through Larry, Joan, and Luke, Eternity explores the difference between ideal love and a lived one, and whether happiness comes from perfect moments or from staying through the imperfect ones. The film opens with Larry and Joan attending a family gender reveal party. They are old, tired, and constantly arguing. Their bickering feels routine, almost comforting. The room is full of life, but Larry and Joan feel out of place. We learn that Joan has terminal cancer, but they have chosen not to tell anyone. During the party, Larry is shown a photo of Luke, Joan's first husband who died in the Korean War. The moment is uncomfortable. It reminds Larry that he was not Joan's first love. Soon after, Larry chokes on a pretzel and dies suddenly. This scene is about life continuing while death awaits nearby. The gender reveal represents beginnings, while Larry's death ends his story without warning. Luke's photo introduces the central conflict: past love versus lived love. The secret of Joan's illness shows how people hide pain to protect others, even when time is running out. Larry wakes up on a train heading toward an unknown place. He is confused but calm. He meets Anna, his afterlife coordinator. She explains that he's at the Junction, a waiting space between death and eternity. Larry must choose where to spend forever. Each eternity has a theme, and once chosen, there is no going back. Leaving an eternity leads to the void. Larry is told he can wait for a loved one if he wants. The train symbolizes transition, not destination. The Junction represents indecision, the space between choices we fear making. Eternity being final mirrors real life. Some choices define who we become, even if we are unsure when we make them. Larry stays at the Junction instead of choosing an eternity. Time passes differently here. He watches others move on while he stays behind. He refuses to imagine forever without Joan. This shows love as patience, not action. Larry's waiting is a simple form of devotion. The Junction becomes a symbol of emotional limbo, where love delays progress but also gives meaning. Joan dies and reunites with Larry at the Junction. Their reunion is warm but complicated. Joan is also reunited with Luke, her first husband, who has been waiting for her for 67 years. Joan is overwhelmed. She now must choose between two lives and two loves. This introduces the film's core question: can one life hold more than one true love? Luke's long wait romanticizes devotion, while Larry's recent life represents shared struggle. The Junction becomes a place where memory and emotion collide. Joan's coordinator, Ryan, gently pushes her toward Luke. Luke is admired at the Junction for his loyalty. Joan feels guilt, pressure, and confusion. Because of her situation, she is given a rare chance to try two eternities before choosing. This scene explores social pressure and idealized love. The trial eternities symbolize how people imagine what could have been, instead of facing what truly was. Joan visits a mountain eternity with Luke. It is peaceful and beautiful. They visit the archives, where memories of their life together are stored. They watch their love story, but Luke becomes upset when he sees a memory of Larry proposing to Joan at a dock that once mattered deeply to him. The mountains symbolize idealized love, high and untouched, but distant from reality. The archives represent selective memory. Luke wants love frozen in time, not changed by what came after. Joan visits a beach eternity with Larry. It is warm and familiar. They enjoy small moments together, but Larry refuses to enter the archives. He says it is too easy to get lost in the past. The beach represents everyday love, shaped by time and change. Larry avoiding the archives shows his belief that love lives forward, not backward. Memory can comfort you, but it can also trap you. Luke shows Joan a letter Larry wrote before her death. In it, Larry planned to choose an eternity without her and wait for her there. Joan compares this to Luke's 67 years of waiting and feels unsure. Later, Joan talks to her friend Karen. Meanwhile, Larry and Luke talk at the Junction bar. Since souls appear at the age they were happiest, they share those moments. Luke speaks about starting a family with Joan, while Larry speaks about when Joan was pregnant with their second child. This scene compares grand gestures versus presence. Luke waited longer, but Larry lived longer with Joan. The age reversal symbolizes how happiness is tied to moments, not perfection. Unable to choose between her husbands, Joan decides to spend eternity with her friend Karen instead. It feels safe and simple. But Larry notices Joan has long hair, something she only had during her first marriage. He realizes Joan was happiest with Luke. Choosing Karen represents escape from emotional pain, not resolution. Larry tells Joan she should choose Luke. He puts her happiness before his own. Unsure of his future, Larry talks to Anna. She reveals that she never chose an eternity because helping others made her happiest. Over time, it became just a job, but Larry reminded her why it mattered. This scene is about selfless love. Letting go becomes an act of care, not loss. Anna's story reflects the danger of losing purpose when meaning turns into routine. Joan and Luke begin their mountain eternity. At first, it is joyful, but over time, Joan feels empty. She visits the archives often and watches memories of life with Larry. She realizes that the small, imperfect moments mattered more than the ideal love she once had with Luke. This scene shows that nostalgia can't replace connection. The archives become addictive, like reliving instead of living. Joan learns that love grows through time, not fantasy. Joan decides that she wants Larry, but Luke fears she will be lost to the void. They share a painful goodbye, mourning the life they never had. Luke finally accepts Joan's choice and causes a distraction so Joan can escape through the archives and find the red door. She faces painful memories before reaching the junction. The red door symbolizes choice and risk. Closure does not erase pain, but it allows growth. Back at the junction, Joan hides with the help of Ryan and Anna. Joan eventually finds Larry working as a bartender, having given up choosing an eternity without Joan. They finally choose an eternity together, one that looks like their real life. This final scene confirms the film's message: love is built, not imagined. Their eternity mirrors their life because that is where meaning lived, not in perfection, but in shared time. Eternity is not about choosing the right person. It is about understanding what love actually is. The film argues that love is not defined by waiting, youth, or ideal moments, but by presence, effort, and shared hardship. Memory can guide us, but living together is what gives life meaning. In the end, eternity is not a place. It is the choice to stay. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.